Hello everyone. I hope you all are safe and healthy. Today, in 12th Commerce Economics, we are going to discuss chapter number 1, Graphs in Economics. This is the third part of the chapter. In first part, we have discussed the introduction about the chapter, then what is diagram, what is graph, what are the importance of diagram and graphs in economics, and the aspects to be considered while drawing any kind of graphs or diagram in the economy. That we have seen in the first part. Now, second part, that is about types of diagram, in which we have basically divided diagrams into three parts. One, that is time based line diagram, second, that is bar diagram, and third one, that is pie diagram. Okay, so we have seen two of them. One, that is time based line diagram that we have seen, and second, that is bar diagram. Bar diagram is divided again into three parts. First part, that is simple bar diagram, second, that was cluster bar diagram, and third is divided bar diagram. These three we have discussed in detail. With that, we have discussed what are the aspects to be considered while drawing any kind of bar diagram. So we have done with two parts. If you haven't seen any of them, just go to the channel and see that one, and afterwards you can go for the third part. Now we are starting with the part number 3. My name is Pratik Majmudar. Welcome to the channel. Part 3, in which we are going to discuss what is pie diagram. Okay, let's start with a simple example. This is an example of pie diagram. Now let's see the definition of pie diagram. The division of a circle in degrees represent a pie diagram. What does it mean? When the whole data is given over here, and when it is divided into different subparts in 360 degrees centered, then it will be considered as a pie diagram. If an entire circle is considered as an universal set, this whole circle is considered as a universal set, then the different components of this data are represented by adding or dividing the circles in degrees proportional to the data, then a pie diagram is to be obtained. So how we are going to create the pie diagram? This is an example. The sales is given for 4 different quarter number 1, 2, 3 and 4. From this you are able to understand which quarter has the highest number of cells. Let's take an example. You are seeing that blue one is the highest one, that is 58%. So out of 100%, 58% selling is done only in the first part. This is easily to be understood just by putting your figures into a pie diagram. You are going to understand and you are able to analyze everything. It becomes very easy. Now, this is the last definition related with the pie diagram. A diagram which is drawn by representing subdivisions of the entire data by proportionate degree in a circle is called as pie diagram. Let's take an example here. These are the subdivisions. Division number 1, that is first quarter. Division number 2, that is second quarter. Division number 3, that is third quarter. And division number 4, that is fourth quarter. Now, these 4 quarters are divided and they are submerged and proportionate it is created, then it is called as diagram when it is created in a simple circle. So you can take an example of pizza. This is just a pizza and we have divided the pizza into different parts. This is the simplest example I can give it to you. Now, since the entire circle represents 360 degree and the subsections represent by dividing the circle proportionate to each data section. This is the simple one. This is the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter and the fourth quarter. From this I can analyze that the highest selling is done in the first quarter. The lowest selling is done in the fourth quarter, that is the last quarter. and the medium range of selling is done in the second and the third quarter. So how we are going to analyze that? This is the formula. Degree is equal to component value divided by total value into 100. Now let's take a bookish example which was given in the GSEB book. Here I have written the definition and related example in the previous slide. Here I have made an announcement. This is the formula. You just go to the circle and just check it. Degree is equal to component value divided by total value into 360. Now here there is one example given and here is a bar chart. See that the total spending in percentage is given. Let's take an example. We have 100 rupees. Mr. Ajay has 100 rupees with him. Now he is spending 20 rupees for books, 5 rupees for the stationery, 30 rupees he is spending for phone, computer and other devices, 30 rupees he is spending for the food and 15 rupees to the clothes. Now, how we are going to calculate that? We have to find out the degree. Degree will be in particular percentage, 360 degrees. We have to divide the whole circle. Then, what will be the answer? We have to use this formula. Component value divided by total value into 360. Now, what is total value? The total value is 100. Among that, we have spent 20 rupees for the books. Now, let's simple multiply it with the value and you will get the answer. So 20, the value of the books, multiply by 360. The 360 is the answer. 360 is the degree and divided by the 100 will be the your value. So 72 degrees will be the answer for books. So we are spending 72 degrees for particular book. Then second is stationery. So 5 multiply by 360 divide by 100. The answer will be 18 degrees. Then for phone we are spending 30 into 360 divide by 100. That means 108 degrees. Then for food we are spending again 30 rupees. 30 into 360 divided by 100 we are getting 108 degrees. And finally the clothes 15 we are spending for that and 15 multiplied by 360 divided by 100 we are going to get 54 degrees. So this is the representation of the particular diagram. The 100 is divided into calculation of different degrees and 20 becomes 72, 5 becomes 18, 30 becomes 108, food for 30 becomes 108 and clothes of 15 will become 54. When you make the total of these degrees it will become 360 because we are multiplying it with the 360. In previous slide I have made one mistake, that is I have multiplied it with 100. Instead of 100 you have to take 360. This is my mistake. You have to rectify it. Now after division of everything you have to put the amounts in the pie diagram and you will able to see that very easily. Now you can see this is for books. Now here this one is for the books. Second, this is for the stationery. This designing is for the stationery. Stationery is of 5%, 5% that means 18 degree. So 18 degree is here. Now this is for the phone, devices, computer and everything. We have spent 30% of our money, that is 108 degree. So this is 108 degree. Okay. Then next one, that is for food. We have spent 30% of our food. 30% of our money for the food, that is 30 rupees. So it is 30%. And last one, that is clothes. We have spent 15% of the amount for the cloth, that is 54 degrees that we have seen over here. So this is about the pie diagram. Now let's see what are the aspects we are going to consider. So these are the aspects to be considered while drawing any kind of pie diagram. First thing, the 360 degrees will make a circle. See here, it is a 360 degree circle. So first aspect you have to remember, that is 360 degree will make a circle. Now all the degrees of 360 are divided for subdivisions and they are calculated in the proportion of the value of the variable for that division and the sum total of degrees of all such subdivisible must be of 360 degrees. Now, here you can see that there is 20 rupees we have spent for the books. In terms of percentage, we have spent out of 100, we have spent 20 percentage of our amount. But we have to calculate it, we have to convert it into the calculation of the degrees. So we have converted 20 rupees into 72 degrees as per the percentage value and multiplying by 360 as a degree value. So finally, all the subdivisions are calculated on the proportional basis on depends on the variable. So every calculation is going to be occurred. Then third one, if the relevant data is to be compared across the regions and the time periods, then the two pie diagrams can be drawn side by side. When you are comparing two particular time area, you have to draw two different pie diagrams. If you are drawing two diagrams, you can compare it with better way. Same when the data is a set with a smaller total value. When there is a smaller total value, the smaller dimension will be there in a pie diagram. If the larger total value is there, then the circle will become more. More, that means its dimension will become higher than the previous one. So this is it for pie diagram. Now next topic is your types of graph. So basically we have seen the definition of graph. Basically the graphs are divided into three parts. One that is time series graph, second that is graphs for continuous frequency distribution, and third one that is logarithm graphs. So basically it is divided into three parts. Second part is again divided into four different parts, that is histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve and cumulative frequency polygon. You just have to remember the names of the different types of diagram. This can be asked for 2 marks question in many board examinations, so you have to just remember this. But as per the board's requirement, we have to only see this graph only, time series graph. Now what is called as time series graph? When there is a trade cycle, whether it is for a shorter period or whether it is for a longer period, whether it is for a longer term, regular term or irregular or erratic term, we have to just prepare the time series graphs. Okay. Now these trends of such changes are obtained with the help of statistical tool. So we should know that when you are preparing any kind of graphs, we must know the statistical tools. So we have to apply over here some statistical tools. When the graphs are drawn taking these changes as variable and the time period as a base, what we have to consider as a base? We have to consider time period as our base. Then this series of graphs will be called as a time series graph. So this is the only one which is going to be asked in the examination. There is only one part of graph is asked, that is only for 2 marks. So this is it for part 3. I hope you have liked, share and subscribe to my channel, and I request every student just go through the first 2 parts and afterwards you have to see the third part. This is it for today. I hope you have liked it. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.